Hi, I'm Shannon Callahan. I'm a peer success advisor with the Academic Success Center, and welcome to our workshop presentation about focus. And this is going to be a conversation about concentration. So, you can't concentrate. You've got an enormous test tomorrow, or you've got a really big presentation coming up. Maybe you've got a term paper that you really haven't made much headway on. How does that look for you? So what sensations do you notice in your body? What thought patterns do you recognize? For me, that looks a little bit like I might be indecisive. If I've got too many things on my mental to-do list, I know I'm going to have a ton of difficulty focusing on what I need to get done just because of all the prioritization that I think still needs to happen. I might notice some anxious thoughts. So, oh my goodness, I don't have enough time to get this done. What's going to happen if I don't have enough time in the day? I might notice myself becoming tired or irritable, especially if I've been working at something for an extended period of time and I'm really not being as productive as I might want to be. So I invite you to think, how does that show up for you? So anything that's going to impair your ability to focus or sustain concentration on something is going to be a distraction. So as I'm going through this, feel free to reflect on what this might look like for you. So as I just said, decision making can be kind of an obstacle to making sure that research gets done or your project is submitted on Canvas on time. So if you know, oh my goodness, it's Sunday night, I have to do my dishes, I have to go put in a load of laundry, I've got a couple other classes I need to do work for. If those things are going to be floating around in the back of your mind, you're going to be spending time and energy and devoting some attention to those, which is obviously going to take away from your present task. No shame in the game. It can just be one way that distractions show up. If you are super tired, you've maybe pulled an all-nighter and you've got just this one little chunk of writing left to do, but you're just absolutely burnt out, you've got no energy left, tank's totally empty, your physical needs aren't being met, of course that's going to take away from your ability to focus as well. Third one, if you are not interested in the subject material, which again, totally okay, completely valid. I know there's been a couple philosophy papers I haven't been super interested in writing. That's also going to take away some of your ability to sustain attention on something simply because you're just not interested in it or because you find it boring. Anything like that is also going to be a distraction. If you've got emotional needs that aren't being met, so if there's some extenuating funk, if you're having difficulty with roommates, or you really just have something that's been weighing on you, maybe you got a bad grade in another class that you're not thrilled about, that's also going to take away some of your ability to really just zone in on something and get it done. If you are constantly bobbing back and forth between tabs in your browser, if you're checking your email, if your phone goes off, if you have a notification from your boss, you're going to spend a lot of time trying to switch your attention back and forth between all those things. So refocusing and the time and energy it takes to do that can also really impact your ability to concentrate. And then social needs, if those aren't being met, that's going to be a detriment to that as well. FOMO is absolutely real. So if you know your friends are having fun, maybe they're going to the flats, maybe they're hanging out, maybe they're at an SUPV event, and you're not able to go because you're focusing on something else, that's going to be weighing in the back of your mind as well. So again, I invite you to consider what distractions you might face when you're trying to focus on something. So Shannon, you're wondering, I came to this presentation, how the heck do I focus? First thing you might want to consider, reframing that. I think a lot of the times when we think, all right, I need to focus, I need to get this job done, we think about managing time, when really we might want to consider managing our energy instead. So that's taking a look at those previous distractions, your physical, social, and emotional needs. If those aren't being met, if you're running on fumes, it doesn't matter how much time in the world you have because you're not able to recharge. So you want to think about maybe managing your personal resources instead. Say, do I have the energy to get this paper done? If yeah, awesome. If not, maybe turn to something else on that to-do list instead and recharge as well. We also have a tendency to fall into goal stage thinking, so you're right. All right, as soon as I hit that submit button on Canvas, I'll be totally fine. But the tendency is we get burnt out really quickly along the way. So instead, thinking about celebrating the steps that you've taken. This is dual purpose. One, it's going to reinforce positive habits, and we'll talk about that in a second. And two, you're going to feel really accomplished when you do get stuff done. That's going to make it a lot easier to come back and pick up that task once you've taken a break. I know we all have fallen into the rabbit hole of just locking ourselves in the lib and then thinking, all right, I'm just going to power through this. I'm just going to grind it out until it's done. That's great, but you're going to be really burnt out later. So thinking about meaningful self-care, deliberately schedule that in. Say, all right, yeah, I have to pull an all-nighter, but I'm going to take a break every half an hour. I'm going to make sure I'm walking around, taking a mindless scroll through TikTok maybe, checking the gram, whatever that may be. As long as you are taking intentional time to step away from that task, recharge yourself, and then come back to it. We also tend to want to multitask. So as I said before, that to-do list looming large in the back of your head, those are all things you're going to be devoting your attention to, in addition to trying to figure out how to tackle that task at hand. So as simple as it sounds, take it one thing at a time. Get rid of any distractions that you know. So maybe close out that inbox tab, maybe mute your other apps for a second. Just try and get that one thing done, and then know you can always come back to the stuff later. So habituation, developing habits and routines is really going to be crucial into helping you figure out, all right, for the more mundane tasks that I have to get done and focus on, maybe you've got that weekly discussion board. Getting into a routine is going to help a lot with making sure that your brain and your body are adjusted to this and that you know what's coming up so you can better prepare for it. So any habit cycle, you've got a cue, a behavior, and a reinforcement. Classic example, your alarm clock. That sound is going to go off every morning. That's your cue. That is then going to prompt you to wake up, and in my case, hit snooze repeatedly. That's going to be the behavior. And then that reinforcement that I get is basically the reward for hitting snooze. I'm going to get a couple extra minutes of beauty sleep. Maybe I want to get up with my alarm though. So the way I'd go about changing that, cue's going to happen, that alarm's going to go off. Instead of hitting snooze right away, however, I might decide, okay, I'm going to get up and have a sip of water to make sure I stay awake. That's going to be my new behavior. That should be specific and it should be doable. So make sure when you're setting that behavior goal, it's specific, it has a time limit to it, and it's going to be, able to happen. Because if you're like, all right, I'm going to get up and run a mile, if that's your prerogative, cool. It's not mine. I know that's not going to be a sustainable behavior for me. After that, you're going to reinforce that positively. So you're going to bribe yourself. That positive reinforcement is going to be absolutely crucial to helping you repeat this behavior and associated with that cue, because you've got something to look forward to. So for me, if I get up and then have my water, I might wander over to the fridge and I might have my favorite yogurt or enjoy something for breakfast before I start my day. And then that basically is just going to help you really associate the behavior in the cue with something positive, like I said. So it's also going to increase the likelihood that you do this cycle again, which is just going to really ingrain that in your mind. So you've sat through this presentation, you've watched the video, we're still having a tough time. No worries. Here's a couple extra ideas for you. Maybe you want to grab a body double or an accountability buddy. So if you're holding up in the lid, getting that stats paper done, grab a friend who's working on a similar project, not necessarily the same one. Having someone there to mirror your behavior is going to mean that you are less inclined to interrupt or go through a scroll on TikTok or get lost on Instagram or anything like that. So having someone there is going to hold you accountable. Of course, you can come chat with your friendly neighborhood PSAs during our drop-in office hours. We're at the Massachusetts Success Commons Monday through Friday, but you can also make an appointment with us if you'd like. You can always check out the Counseling Center for ways to manage your stress. So if that to-do list is piling up or you're just really struggling in classes with trying to pay attention, go talk to them. They're awesome. You can also get in touch with your profs for informal accommodations. So say you really need some extra time on that one project or paper, whatever that may be, ask for an extension. They're usually more than happy to accommodate that. And if it keeps coming up and again, you're always welcome to go chat with the SAS office for information on more formal accommodations. So if you have questions, like I said, feel free to drop by the Academic Success Center. We are housed with the Career Center. Just ask at the front desk for us. Office hours are Monday through Friday or by appointment. And these slides were made by SlidesGo. Awesome resource. And yeah, thank you so much for coming.